All right. All right. What's happening, fam? LAR movement still moving, right? Let me see if I could get a little bit more light, right? So, because of this election, because of the things that was going on prior to this election, I got to ask the question, what was the gender wars agenda? See, we're looking at things like politically, men and women have different political ideologies, right? So, okay, no problem. No problem. But what's the agenda, though? Sub Xander. So, what I mean by that is this: you got people who don't want to deal with the opposite sex, but you never ask what's their agenda for not dealing with the opposite sex. I got you, Shell. You know, see, some people want, they'll say, okay, these people want to deal with a higher class. Bonk, what's up, Khalil? A higher class, a higher people with higher character, right? I want to deal with somebody of the opposite sex, but I just want to deal with somebody who's not trashy, right? But then again, you have people on the opposite end of that spectrum who want to deal with somebody completely different. So the best way to do it is to trash the opposite sex. So when you trash the opposite sex, guess what? Now you got an excuse to do what you intended to do in the first place, which basically you didn't have the heart to do in the first place. So your agenda for your contribution to a gender war was so you can go off and do what you was too scared to do on your own in the first place. Now, we have this other aspect of the gender war where financial, financial gain, you know, I need to create an enemy so I don't have to do anything for this enemy financially. Or I need to create an enemy so if I do something with this other gender, I can milk them financially. Nobody asks, so what's your agenda? Like, why are you doing this? You get what I'm saying? So when people say stuff like, say you want to level up, that doesn't mean you want to actually be with the person. It just means you want to use them to get money. Saw some kind of quote, I guess it was a Twitter quote where a young lady, I'm guessing she was Puerto Rican or Cuban, was talking about men are just here to be used, right? And I keep getting these messages from an old video I did about, why women are sexual objects. And I was basically saying the thing is, if you put yourself out there, if you go about dating in the same way that a prostitute would go about getting money out of people, you're going to become a sexual object. But, this is a whole nother issue. So also you have people who want to create confusion because they have an agenda. They're outside people who are in the gender war that aren't necessarily into dating the same sex or dating of another racial group. What's up, Gigi? And what I mean by that is, guess what? Yeah, I feel you. What's up, Mike? So, Bonk, thanks, fam. So now you're sitting in this society where you shouldn't like these men because you should like women. So you got that dynamic. It's really not, you can't really get the reverse of that dynamic because you're not really going to get guys who are not straight guys to tell somebody, women are so bad, you should start dating guys. No, it's not going to happen. But you will get the MGTOW thing where, you know what, let's just step away. And if I can, get you to be angry enough, you might not deal with them. So you got one group that might not deal with the opposite sex or date the same sex, and you got another group that just opt out and deal with nobody, right? So what's the agenda? You know, and nobody asks at the end of the day, what are you getting out of this? Some people it's self-preservation, right? I don't want you to put yourself in a position where you can't preserve yourself because somebody is going to use you, or you're going to be in a bad situation as far as the government is concerned, or it could cost you your livelihood, or it could cost you your say your future makings as far as money. And you got the opposite side where, this is a come up. If you could say this or do this, this person will have to pay you out. But where all of this, basically hits a negative point is when the attraction dies down. So if the attraction dies down, now you won't even interact enough to have a gender war. And what you're seeing is people trying to, as they're getting older, they're getting lonely. So I want to step out of the war because you know what? I'm tired of this. I want to be with somebody now. I spent all these years fighting these people, but now I want to be with these people. Nobody asks the agenda because if you're not putting your all into creating a family and you're not putting your all into, say, a marriage, what are you putting your all into? Brian, what's popping? Who that? Cooley, what's happening? Then what are you putting yourself into? I.e., what are you putting your money into? What are you creating in the society? How are you making your mark in the society? And a lot of this stuff comes with man, Eamon, what's happening? Thank you. Like, I'm still trying to figure out what's up with how America can't count. I mean, you can't count in Nevada after all this time. And this is part of the reason why I'm talking about this. This is part of the reason why I'm talking about this. Because the whole, even the election is a pseudo synopsis of a quote unquote gender war. Tony, what's happening? That's what this is. If you're a misogynist if you vote for Trump, and you're a feminist if you vote for Biden. Well, if that's the case, maybe it is. Maybe it's not. Green Machine, what's popping? George, what's happening? You're for family if you're voting for Republican or traditional views, quote unquote. What's up, Kicks? Or you're a Democrat if you're voting for liberalism, which would be synonymous with single family, single parenting. Now, here's the problem. That's a gender issue, right? So people are sick of one thing and people are sick of the other. Madrid families, we ain't in Madrid though. So here's the play that cracks me up. You actually believe that your ideology is going to work for who though? Because nobody ever asked, what is this working for you as a person right now, or is this going to be working in the future for your family? And 9 times out of 10, or 10 times out of 10, the agenda of the gender war is not going to be conducive to family at the end of the day, at all, because you're creating an atmosphere where both genders are going to have an early disdain towards each other, and they're going to take it out on each other as adults. So who benefits? Who benefits? What's up, Rollo? Who? Everybody benefits. Everybody benefits. And until this doggone pandemic. Because you had single people working and they could get, they helped businesses grow and not necessarily the economy grow, but help conglomerates grow. Nobody's ever taken into consideration, I would say, supermarkets, gas, and Walmart has exploded because of no family in America. Because, well, food, not just supermarkets. Because you eat out like crazy, or you buy stuff like just snacking. So nobody's there to watch your diet really like that. So you buy whatever you want, however you want, alcohol, drinking, consumption, all that other stuff, right? your gas is because ultimately you you got you driving here and there for a high. You know what I mean? A high is you want attention here, you want attention there. See, now you're not going out with what's a perfect storm. You're not going out with somebody that you care about. You're going out constantly to meet somebody on the high. Maybe I'm gonna meet somebody new. Maybe I'm gonna meet somebody new. Maybe I'm gonna meet somebody new. That's cost money, gas money, food, drink, clothes. You know, now, home ownership kind of goes down out the window because as the prices of real estate go up, guess what? Can a single person afford a house? Or do you want all the space because you're single, you're in an apartment? You know what? I'm gonna get a house. I'm gonna get a house when I get married. But you in a gender war, remember? Yeah, ain't no savings. Ain't really no savings when you're single. People don't want to say that, but it's the truth, you know. So because one of the odd things about it is the savings comes from using the opposite sex. Yeah, man. Most black men are coming to help. Absolutely. I feel you that. I feel you on that, Rollo. This is where we at. This is where we're at. What's the agenda of the gender? Like nobody asked. Just like we say the feminists have an agenda, you know, white people have an agenda, the people of color have an agenda. You never thought that the gender war has an agenda? It never dawned on you? It never dawned on you, huh? When you see, somebody, the thing that Maxine Waters said prior to the election, I'm never going to forgive black men who voted for Trump. No problem. Don't. But you didn't say but you're going to forgive black women that voted for Trump, right? Right. See, the gender, the gender war makes you not look at things factually. Because what about the ladies in intersectionality and people of color? Guess who? All the people you intersect with voted for Trump at higher rates than black men. What's up, NC Worker? All of them. White women, white men, Asians, Hispanics. You know what I'm saying? The only person that voted for Trump the least is black women. That's it. Why do I have to make that point? Because the gender war makes you think that you're actually on a team with somebody. You're on a team, say you're on an anti-man team, you're on an anti-woman team, forgetting that all these races and ethnicities and religions competing against each other in this American economy. So whose team are you actually on? If you never asked that question, whose team are you actually on? Never dawned on you? It never crossed your mind now once to say, you know what? Man, I didn't realize that at the end of the day, these other people ain't my friend either. They're not. They're not. Yeah. Got you on that, Rollo. Like, this is where we're at when nobody asked the questions. You never asked the question, I don't know, what does it look like? And then we got to play this game where I'm going to keep proving my point. I'm going to keep proving why I'm right. I'm going to keep proving. Yeah, thanks, Patrick. Situational discrimination. What's up, Big Ed? So I'm going to keep proving that at the end of the day, it's them. See, one of the thing about the gender war that always makes me pay attention real closely is you never look at what you're doing to the other gender. You can't, because it creates a victim mentality, and a victim mentality doesn't create I'm the perpetrator. I'm not seeing me as I'm always responding. I'm always responding. But so everything you do is in response. You never initiated a thing. So since you are always the victim and you never initiate stuff, all the stuff you do that's negative and trifling, it wasn't you. It wasn't you. It was in a response to something. You know, yeah, Patrick. Like it's just that. So part of this war also adds to the fact that you never take responsibility for your actions because you're so busy, you know, keeping one eye open like CBS. Shout out, that was the JC line back in the day. You know, you always keeping one eye open on the opposite sex, even if they helping you, even if they doing something to benefit you, right? And then also, it's this creates the competition of winners and losers. See, if you're doing something with somebody, somebody's got to win and somebody's got to lose. So guess what? If you're entering a situation with the opposite sex, somebody's got to win, somebody's got to lose. So you've already entered into the situation where you're not going to cooperate anyways. You're not. This is a championship fight. 12 rounds. You know, we don't want it to go to decision. Like, I remember I was looking at something recently about patriarchy, the patriarchy. And I thought about it. I said, you know, the funny thing about this gender war is patriarchy and matriarchy are both, quote unquote, looked at as if they're under attack. Now, the interesting thing about it is this. If guys say, I want a patriarchy, they're talking about family. Women are saying they down with the patriarchy. Guys look like, oh, you want to tear down the family. You don't want men involved in the family because mentally we're thinking about most families in America aren't patriarchal. They're matriarchal because I believe they're more single parent households, which is predominantly mothers, than actually married couples in this country. So the majority of this country is living in the matriarchy as in the family sense. But then I have to think about it like patriarchy is also the government, right? And the issue with that is women want to tear down the government, you know, which is interesting to me because it's that same government that allowed women all these privileges. So it doesn't make sense. You know, guys are looking at it like, you know what? Yeah, we'll tear down the quote unquote patriarchal government. We want to tear all these rules out. So in essence, the men and the women do want to tear down certain rules in society that negatively influence their lives. You know, that's the agenda. But see, people want to keep the things that positively influence their lives, and you can't keep both. You can't keep both. You can't. This is why we having this problem. I'm not thinking about these keep what's happening. You know, this is where we at. So now you want to play this. You know, we're in a time where everybody's playing. You know, and what I mean by everybody's playing, a lot of this gender war is a first world issue. Basically, you got so much money that you mad about not getting your way because you have to work for it. Like, we don't work like people in the past worked. We don't. We're not. This is not a agricultural society. This is not a hands-on society. Savage, what's popping? This is a industrial society. You know, Art, what's happening, fam? You know, this is an industrial society. You know, yeah, that's what I look at it as. What's up, K Love? It's so and most not even industrial. This is a technical, not even technical, a technological society. Appreciate you, Deesky. This is a technological society, which means most things ain't done with your hands. Nobody even remember. Most people don't even know how the sausage gets made anymore. You don't even know. Y'all are not. Most people don't even know how to bleed a hog or a deer, you know, in the first place. Let's just say it that way. You too soft to even kill it. Most people, I would bet most people in American society, especially metropolitan American society, have no survival skills. Have very little to no survival skills. You can't fish, you can't hunt, you can't grow food, you probably can't sew. You probably can't take care of anything on your own without calling somebody. And then I thought about it, what's the gender wars agenda? And you put it there perfectly. Entitlement. Entitlement. So if you're entitled to something, that means somebody else should be doing it for you. What's up, man? So if somebody else should be doing it for you, you're not doing it for yourself. And if you're not doing it for yourself, that means you don't know how to do it for yourself. And if you don't know how to do it for yourself, and you want somebody else to do it for you, you're gonna have to pay them for one, but you're gonna also teach your kids that somebody is gonna come along and do it for them. You have to, you know, automatic transaction, cash at me. For what? PayPal me. For what? Just send me the money. For what? Do it for what? It's so bad that, how can I say this? If I was to say, I got 77 people in here and I only got 39 likes, which most people say, you would have this, that would in some ways be like, dang, you here, but you don't like the video, right? You here, should you donate, right? I should be like a preacher, right? But I don't do that thing. Here's why. You got free will to do whatever you want to do. If you're going to do it, you're going to do it. If you're not, you're not. But part of this gender war thing is, part of the agenda is to think it's somebody's going to use their free will to do something for you. So everybody is in some ways have been groomed to wind up being a panhandler, while somebody else off into society and in places you don't know is actually doing the heavy lifting. This space has talked about automation for years. What does that mean for most people? If I'm not mistaken, the UK is about to shut down, lock down again. What is that saying? What is that saying? If the UK gonna lock down, you think America not? You see most Americans, we ain't even, man, whatever. I go out, everybody out, we got a mask on, whatever. No big deal. But I said it yesterday, and I said it a week ago, and I'm saying it today. You see how all these people are out here? Just not just the voting, but being out here, protesting per se. These people who ready to riot if the election goes the way that they didn't want it to go. Lockdown again. Lockdown again. Then you see the Senate talking about, oh, when we're gonna get back to making a deal, to figure out a stimulus package when this is over. Really. And nobody equates, who benefits off of this? Because if there's a war with anybody, somebody benefits. A war benefits either one of the parties at the war or a third party watching from afar. Because guess what? While you clashing, I'm gonna come in and rob the joint. You never know. You never know the wiser. Everything getting blown up. You too busy at war to protect certain things. Certain things are just not to be protected. What I mean by that is the gender war's agenda is to make you live your best life. And if you live your best life, you'll never plan for the future. Never. You never have a plan for what you should be doing down the line. Because you're gonna feel like somebody of another gender is gonna do something to undermine you at some point anyway. So let me just get what I get right now, today. So guess what? If you're not making any moves for the future and you living in today, somebody has already plotted on your future expenditures. Oh, I'm gonna get that money out of them. They gonna see it, but it's gonna be too late. It's gonna be too late. See, here's the question. It's November the 5th, by the way. In about, what, 2 weeks? Maybe 3 weeks? 21 days. In 3 weeks, it'll be Thanksgiving. The next day, it'll be Black Friday. Now, with a pandemic that happened the vast majority of the year, who gonna have money for Black Friday? See, nobody asked the question, wait a minute. This election is happening. They got men and women at each other about it, per se. They got a stimulus package supposed to get rolled out and it's supposed to be signed next week. And a few weeks after that, it's going to be Black Friday? What's up, Reddy? What we need you to do, spend that money. They giving you money. They giving you free money to spend. Why? I mean, I understand it's a pandemic. You're supposed to look out for your citizens in the first place. But the timing of it is kind of weird. If you don't think about it, it's very weird. Because you should have cared about your citizens suffering this whole time. But you wanted to see where they was going to vote first. And what I mean by gender, because I was clowning about this prior to this happening. Even I was clowning about this with O'Shea. Salute to O'Shea. He doing great things. Salute to Kevin Samuels. Great things. I'm glad, all the brothers in the manosphere. Salute to y'all. Here's the interesting part. I was like, there's gonna be a lot of guys tricking on OnlyFans. There was a lot of girls that came up on OnlyFans. That stimulus money. Right? And there's a lot of guys using that to impress chicks, right? So the quote unquote gender war, it creates friction where it's transactional. He's a trick, she's a prostitute. She know what she want, he know what he want. Everybody knows what the exchange is about. Exactly, John. And that's what I'm getting at. Businesses know how to take advantage of this gender war. Businesses know. What's up, Rasta? Businesses know what to do. Are you going have y'all ever considered at this rate, it's gonna be less and less turkeys getting bought because it's gonna be more people by themselves, right? Oh, but see, this pandemic is gonna quote unquote bring people closer together, which is gonna create another problem because now you're gonna be taking out all of your animosity towards the opposite sex to close people. Oh man, realness, appreciate you. Jim Wright, what's happening? It's creating a false sense of entitlement, a false narrative. And that's the thing about it, that people are gonna, there's gonna be a lot of people who's gonna need therapy and counseling. And there's gonna be a lot of mental breakdowns. It's not just because of financially, it's because a lot of people have been living a false narrative. What's up, Unc? They're living a false narrative. So you created this, I don't like the opposite sex because this happened in the 50s, in the 60s, in the 70s. But the statistics and the facts don't actually say that. But that's a false narrative. So now you living with this false narrative. You bringing it out to society. What's up, low Cass? Now you treating people crazy because of your narrative. You going out of your way to do things because of your narrative. Children are being created because of your narrative. Families are being broken up because of the narrative. People are using people because of the narrative. And then people are coming to an aha moment later in life, realizing, you know, I was wrong. But it's too late to fix it. But it's not just that you were wrong. You never looked at the grand scope of things of how wrong you were. How many clothes you bought, how many things you bought that you didn't need to get with the opposite sex only to try to stick it to them in the process? How many things you bought to stunt on the opposite sex because you quote unquote don't like them? Oh, you know what? I got you, Unc. I got you, Unc. I'm really on this. I'm always on StreamYard, so I rarely do that. So my bad. I got you, Unc. So this is where we at. Yeah, yeah. Social distance was a great thing, you know. Yeah. Ooh, that I was just thinking about that, Ross. Because one of the things you hear, one of the conversations you hear now is, I'm working on me, right? And I was on D. Durrell's panel not too long ago. Shout out to D. Durrell. You know what I'm saying? People who say I'm working on me, usually that's a stall tactic to quote unquote still get themselves together. And this is the kicker. How much money are you spending getting yourself together working on you? Never asked that question. Can you work on you for free? How much does it cost to work on you, to better yourself? And who's benefiting on you working on you? Nobody ever thought about, like, dang, yeah. Because a lot of times you taking these narratives in yourself and you messing around, it's messing with your heart. Oh, cool, it's messing with your heart, it's messing with your head. And now you thinking with the emotions of a false narrative, but it's gonna cost you. I remember when the young lady was talking about women are overweight because of racism in the Trump era. You're not overweight because of that. You know what I'm saying? As a guy, as a man, it's like, the reason I don't want to date these chicks and marry these chicks because they stole she trying to steal Dr. Dre's billion. It ain't that many billionaires in America. It's a few hundred. It's a few. It's maybe 10,000 millionaire. No, it's not 10,000 millionaires. It's like it's close. Maybe a million millionaires or something like that. Something like that. A few 100,000 to a million, something like that. So now we're putting this false narrative of why I can't rock with you. I can't rock with you. But in the interim, I can rock with all the mediums to get in your pants without getting with you. See, entertainment has been booming over all of these years. Why? Because you got to entertain yourself, for one. Can't just have an idle mind as the devil's workshop. And this is what you're seeing is a lot of people who entertain themselves because outside of entertainment, they don't do anything. They got an idle mind. So the gender war created a bunch of socially awkward people who ain't doing nothing in the house. Women complaining about guys being on video games all day. But guys like, well, girl, you worrying about this guy playing video games and you watching, reality TV. It's the same amount of time doing absolutely nothing. Getting advertised to. He need downtime, you need downtime, but both of the downtimes create a issue with each other. I got y'all. So at the end of the day, the agenda of the gender war is for you to waste your time in a gender war. Because you still gonna mess with the opposite sex. See, that's where you're not gonna. That's what the vast majority of people don't wanna admit, and that's where they're not. You still gonna be messing with the opposite sex. So you at war with somebody that you still gonna be messing with at the end of the day. But all of the things you did in the interim, you know, to pass the time, that you're not messing with the group that you hate so much, nickel and diming you out of your time, money, and life. And, you know, it adds up. It definitely adds up. And I was sitting there just thinking about it like, wow, even with this whole election thing going on, is it going to make a lot of these people's lives better either way? No. No. Your life is going to be what it was two months ago, 2 years ago. This is why a lot of people are living in the past. See, this happened to me 2 years ago. This happened to me 5 years ago. This happened to me 10 years ago. This is why I can't move forward now. I just don't. I have trust issues. What's up, Michael? 80% of them. Hey, I feel you on that. You know, this is where we at. Phineas, what's happening? You know, appreciate it. It is like you they the enemy, but you sleeping with them, right? But you know, it is what it is. So how, you gonna waste your time hating and hating and hating and getting nothing done? Like part of the gender war is no different than racism from a black male point of view. If you hate me because I'm black, right? Whatever that means to you, and you spend your whole life hating me because I'm black, but I get further in life than you, seems to me that you wasted your time doing the wrong thing. How did you do this? And how did you do this? And why do you have this? And why do you have that? Maybe I have that because I wasn't wasting my time, you know, worrying about you hating me. I was doing what I need to do to get where I need to go and where I want to be. What's up, Calvin? Why you so busy? I hate you, I hate you, I hate you. Then you see somebody, I always wanted to be that and do that. How did you do it? You're not supposed to. Well, actually, you gave me a great opportunity to do it because I didn't have to worry about you as competition. You know, Emmanuel, thanks, fam. I just didn't have to worry about you as competition. You know, and this is where the competition and lack of competition stems from. You know, you are wasting your time. It's interesting. You know, it's interesting. So now, what are we getting out of it? Nothing. Absolutely, positively nothing. But who, you know, what are other people getting out of it? Everything. Think about it. You know, as a man, you don't want to see the talk or the reel or the view because you know man hater material. Oprah, man hater material. Then on the flip side, you know what you gonna watch? ESPN. You know, NFL Network, Sports Center. It's my man cave material. You know, I want my piece. She want the piece to mail bash. She want the piece for sports and entertainment. So where the family money went into? Jerseys, shoes. Where the family money went into? Hair and beauty. And the irony about that is you spend money on hair and beauty to look good for people that you hate. You spending money, you know, getting, you know, going to social events, dressing up, getting fly, trying to talk to the women you hate. Like, it's so ridiculous that at some point you got to say, okay, I understand being red pill. I understand, you know, having an idea. This is what the construct is. This is where we at in society. What I don't understand is you're not paying attention to who's benefiting off of this at all. It doesn't dawn on you that Chick-fil-A making money. They keep, where I'm at, there's more new fast food restaurants and food restaurants popping up. I'm like, wow. Where do all these people have money? Oh, I forgot. Most of these people by themselves. You know, and most of these people not taking care of themselves like they want the opposite sex to take care of them. So guess what? Chick-fil-A take this $7. Taco Cabana take this $10. Hey, McDonald's take this $8. Hey, you know what? Wingstop, go ahead and take this $11. Oh, Starbucks, go ahead and take this $3, $4, $5. Oh, you know what? Nike, Adidas, Puma, go ahead and take this hundred something dollars. You know what? Netflix, go ahead and take this $12. Oh, Amazon, go ahead and take this $9. Sling, go ahead and take this $10 or whatever that is, $20, whatever that. Hulu, go ahead and take that. Oh yeah, oh yeah. Oh, Hennessy, go ahead and take this $39. What is that? Stella Rose, go ahead and take this $12. You're not even thinking about it. You're not even thinking about it. And they just sitting there, money, money, yeah, money. But it just didn't dawn on us, you know. Hey, Blood of Zeus is fire. I watched the whole thing. I watched the whole thing. But I'm gonna get out of here. I gotta go. Rest in peace to my cousin. It's his birthday, so we're gonna do a little celebration for him. So I'm just telling you, what's happening, Black Sand? Russia. Oh, shout out to you in Russia, fam. Yeah, hope y'all doing great. Laughing at us in America. Peace.